What are you grateful for?
Today, we're going to be talking about the practice of gratitude and why it's so important when it comes to manifesting.
Welcome everybody to Manifestation Mindset, where you will learn tips on the mindset of manifesting, overcoming emotional challenges, and breaking through limitations. I'm Dr. Aaron Garcia.
And I'm Veronica Mendez, and we go live every Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific and post episodes on Thursdays. So if you're new to the show, put a comment in the comment box, and also remember to subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to receive notifications of when we post a new episode.
Today, we're talking about gratitude. And we've been working with this concept, this practice, for a few years now. And we wanted to share our experience with you for those who might be new to this concept of gratitude and those who are veterans at this as well, because there's a lot of nuances and there's some very subtleties of how to use this practice to manifest the things we want in our life. And I remember we probably started this back in about 4 years ago,
Something like
maybe
that.
4 or 5 years ago.
Four or
Time
five.
goes by fast.
Yeah.
It was introduced to us by some friends, and I remember that at the beginning, the concept of gratitude was a little weird for me. I wasn't used to it. I didn't grow up in a family that did like prayers or thanking things all the time and gratitude. So that concept was new to me, and I remember it was a bit uncomfortable, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I grew up, going to church and praying and things like that. So it wasn't that odd to me to do gratitude. So it was a form of a prayer for me.
Hmm.
So when we first got introduced to it, I just jumped right on it. And but it is a practice, and it's something that you have to, like if you're wanting to do that, and you can practice it daily, practice it before every meal, or before bed. Before you go to bed, just lay there and just go back through the day and just be grateful for everything. Be grateful for life.
Hmm. And there's so many things to be
Yeah.
grateful for, and sometimes people might get to this concept of, oh, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that, and it can be just mere words. And we want to really get into today's episode of why it is so important and how do you really practice gratitude. And this is from our experience, the experience of others, and just what we've been able to see, what has happened in our life because of that.
Hmm.
It makes a huge difference. And so, one of the first things when we're talking about practicing gratitude and why, like, why should I practice gratitude? It sounds good. A lot of people talk about it, but why? What is the actual importance of it?
Hmm.
And one of the first things is it helps to increase your vibration.
Yeah, so when it comes to vibration, what we mean by that is it's like those feel good emotions where when you're working towards something, you want to be in that high vibration. You want to be feeling good when you're working towards anything that you're doing. You want to do it feeling good, because
Yeah.
how do you feel when you're working on something and you're not feeling good? You're not in a good mood. You're maybe frustrated, angry. And how do things tend to go? They tend to go worse, or things tend to just one thing after another. But when you're feeling good and you're in good spirits, your vibration is high. And that's what you want to do, like whatever you're working on, even when you're setting goals, anything. And it's put that good energy into what you're doing. And try to do this all the time if possible, because it just makes you feel better. Things just start to fall into place, and it's just so much better. You're in a good mood. You're not snappy at people, and it just things just tend to feel better.
And so we talk about this thing called vibration. If those are
Hmm.
maybe not have heard that term, maybe don't know what that's all about, is we all carry an energy with us. Think about when you walk into a room or a place of business, and you might say to yourself, "Wow, this place has a really good vibe to it," or "A place has a very bad vibe to it," or "The person in this elevator kind of gives me the creeps," or "I really want to talk to this person." Well, because each place, each person carries an energy, and we can feel that.
Yeah.
And when we say good vibe, what is that? That's vibration, meaning that person is giving off a good energy. And so our thoughts give off energy, our emotions give off energy, and that becomes that human aura that surrounds us. And that energy is a very powerful attractor. And that's what brings things into our life, knowingly or unknowingly. But
Mm-hmm.
that's how a lot of experiences tend to happen. Everything starts in thought first.
Yeah.
And we teach this a lot to our clients and our students about how the process of manifesting in our Manifestation Mindset Institute. But th- when we say we're going to increase your vibration, it means that we're going to get you into the best feeling mood as we can, because in those moments when we are feeling good, as Veronica mentioned, is we attract better things to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know this from experience. One of those times I have been in a frustrated mood, it's like one thing after the next seems to go wrong. You know, like you're walking around and like something's not working properly or something breaks, or then you're walking around and you stub your toe, and it's like, what just happened?
Yeah.
And because your energy is always constantly changing depending on your mood, and you want to be very careful and be very mindful of that mood that you're in. And that's what we talk about vibration. And
Mm-hmm.
gratitude helps to put you in that high vibration.
So think about it. When you're, say you're, let's talk about like business. You're working towards your business, your goals, and you're maybe frustrated because things aren't moving fast enough, and you're not feeling so good now. Like, why would you want to put that energy into something that you desire, like your goals or your dreams? Like, why not put those good feeling emotions into it, and be in a better state of mind when you're working on these things? Because now it's like you're telling the universe, okay, my dreams and my goals are frustrating to me, or they're making me feel bad. So now when it comes to that, like, why would you want to attract more of that? So
Hmm.
put yourself in the highest vibration. Maybe listen to some music that's going to uplift you, or read a book, or read something. Listen to something that's going to make you feel good. And then once you're in that good state of mind, then work on what you want to work on.
Yeah. So I want to say hi to Patty May. She says,
Hey,
lovely to
Patty.
be in your gracious presence. Thank you for
Oh,
being here,
thank
Patty.
you.
Love to hear from you guys. If you're new, you know, we are here live, so you can leave us your comments. Share with us your experiences on if you've done gratitude practices and what it's done for you,
Mm-hmm.
because we've heard stories from many people when they start to go into these practices that the things that they've been asking for seem to come to them. And we were just with family during the holidays, and
Mm-hmm.
one of my sisters has really been practicing this over the past year, and it's been exciting to see. And she's really getting into it because
Yeah,
because the more things happen, the more faith she starts to have in it and realizes, wow, this really works.
it does.
But you have to practice it to understand what we're talking about. If you're new to this. And so as we're raising our vibration, and we've already been talking about that, but the next point is that because it improves your mental state.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you find that you are in those days where things just aren't going well, you're just not in a really great mood. Maybe something happened at work, maybe something happened in your relationships, or maybe just not feeling your best in your health. Gratitude can really help to improve that, because you cannot be in a state of happiness and a state of anger at the exact same time. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you work on gratitude, it's taking your focus off of things that are going wrong and putting your focus on things that you are grateful for, that you're happy with. And it makes you feel better.
So when you're finding yourself in these funks, or you're just like not feeling the greatest, and you're focusing on all the things that are going bad, take a moment and just stop and take a breath. And then maybe if you have a like a tablet or something that you can write down. If you don't have pen and paper, maybe bring out your phone, and there's a note section where you can just write 10 things that you're grateful for. And I think you mentioned part of
Hmm.
that, because it's in the writing of it, you're putting out that energy, and you're focusing now on the good things in your life, things that you're grateful for to have, or just to be alive, to be able to breathe, and you're taking your attention away from the negativity. So
Hmm.
by doing that, you're changing your mental state, and it makes you feel good. And if you've never tried it, you should try it.
Yeah, and that was one of the big changes that happened to me when I
Mhm.
started to really do this practice. In fact, we did it for when we first started, we were doing it with a group of friends,
Mhm.
where what we would do is we would do a 30-day gratitude practice. And there's many different practices out there. One of the ones that we followed was from the book called The
The
Magic,
magic,
which
yeah.
was written by Rhonda Byrne, who also wrote the book The Secret. And in there, she has it's a 30-day gratitude practice where you learn how to be grateful for different things.
Yeah, it's great.
So we did that with some friends of ours. And we had, I think, a phone call for like
Hmm.
15, 20 minutes a day. Just get on a phone call because people were all over. And we would all just go around and say what we're grateful for. And just by doing that as a practice, it became a habit.
Yeah.
And we found within that 30 days, it seemed like everything was just doing really well for us.
Hmm.
And then we tried it again. And then we started to make it a practice at the dinner table with our
Hmm.
daughter. And even for her, it was a little weird at
At
first to
first it
do
was
that.
weird, and then she's like, I don't see why we have to do this. And then later, it just became natural. It just became a habit of doing gratitude, and it really changes your attitude. You know,
Yeah.
from the beginning, and once it becomes a habit, it's like, oh, like let's do gratitude today.
But the one thing I did notice during these periods was when you get into these habits, and I've talked to colleagues, friends, and when people do these gratitude practices and they say they're grateful, because we talked about it's an energy, it's a vibration that you're carrying when you're gratitude. Gratitude is not just words that you say, I'm grateful for this, I'm grateful for that. Gratitude is a feeling.
Hmm.
And so when you're doing your gratitude practice, it's important that you really put a feeling towards that. And I noticed this because when we did it first with our daughter, at times she was uncomfortable, she didn't want to do it, and she would just say the words, but there really wasn't any feeling behind that.
Hmm.
And I've even had those moments where maybe I just didn't have a bad day. I'm trying to be grateful for things, but I didn't feel the same as I did when I'm in that presence. But once you learn how to get into the feeling of gratitude, and whatever it is, you're grateful for your health, you're grateful for the people that you have in your life, you are grateful for your business, the things that are going wrong, is when if you don't know what to be grateful for, there's always something you can find. Even
Hmm.
the little things from having a roof over your head, some clothes to put on, friends, support, whatever that might be, find something and really feel how grateful you are to have that in your life. And when you feel that, you'll know because you'll start to feel good. You'll put a smile on your face. You actually will start to feel that in your physiology once you get into the feeling. And that is the most important part.
And sometimes we talk about gratitude, and it's like all the good things that are in our life, but I think also being grateful for the not so good things, the challenges that are in our life, because that's what helps us to grow. If we didn't have challenges, we wouldn't grow as a person. We wouldn't be able to come up with solutions and ideas to make things better.
Hmm.
So I think being grateful for those challenges is a good part of gratitude, because it's we know that we're growing because of it.
Absolutely. Sometimes we have these experiences that happen in our life, and they may be the most challenging moments that we've ever
Hmm.
had. Big transitions have not happened. These events would not have taken place, and a
Hmm.
lot of people we've seen will say because of this, everything went wrong, or all these things, all my life changed when this event happened, and they focus on all the negative aspects of that. But when you think about like a ripple effect. If you think like Back to the Future, is if these events had happened, then you would not be in the place you are today. You would probably not have met the people that you have met. Sometimes in those big challenging moments, that's the part that really was. It's almost like the universe put that situation as a test for you because something needed to shift to guide you in a different direction.
Hmm.
And we've had a lot of people say that, and I know a lot of people because we've done some interviews with others that said, when in the past they were very egocentric, they were very mean, very nasty, and something happened in their life that was like it was like a big like shock to them.
Hmm.
It could have been a loss of a loved one, a loss of a business, and because of that, they said that was the biggest blessing because it helped them find themselves. They maybe guided towards more spirituality. They became more givers and more helpers and
Hmm.
understand that everything wasn't about them. So it truly made them a better person.
Yeah.
And that's something that they can be grateful for.
And another thing with gratitude is it helps to improve your health. And how is that? How does gratitude help improve your health? Because when you're focusing on more positive things in your life, it's like you're not really stressing about the little things, and you're focusing on positive things. So
Yeah.
if you change your point of focus, and you're looking at everything as, okay, everything is great, everything's good, things
Hmm.
happen for a reason, and just focus on the good that comes from everything. It's like your stress level will start to go away by doing that, because now you're in a more positive mental state, you're feeling good, and there's really nothing to worry about. Everything's always going to be fine.
Yeah, and I was in a clinical practice for almost 10 years, and even before that, and this, I still work with people on this. And I found that a lot of the illnesses and physical issues that people came to see me for, it was all related to stress. The
Hmm.
things that they were concerned about in their life. They're worried about finances. They're struggling in their relationships and fighting and going through a divorce. And the body is the emotional filter. So whatever you're feeling on the inside, your body's going to express that in some way. Every body part relates to different aspects in our emotional well-being. And so if you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling angry, your whole physiology is going to change, and that's going to express as some type of a physicality issue. And so when you go into this gratitude practice, it's it's shifting you from those lower vibration states of anger, fear, worry, distrust, all of these. And when you go into a place of gratitude, a place of love, happiness, that's your natural, normal state. And what happens is that is actually healing for you.
Hmm.
And so when we remove all the worry, all the frustration, your body can now go back to its natural balance, and things start to get better. And then we've seen this with many clients over the last few years, where when they stop worrying about things, and usually that's because of some other issues, that's we go deep with that with them. But once they let that go, they forgive, they can be grateful for things. And then it's like their whole like aura starts to change. They light up. You can see a different glow in them. They're smiling on their face, and interestingly enough, their health starts to improve.
Yeah, so that's another good reason why the practice of gratitude is important. And also, practicing gratitude, and like we mentioned earlier, the challenges, it helps with dealing with adversity. So when you're faced with challenges, it's probably not going to be as bad as not practicing gratitude. So it's like you'll we are all going to get challenges, we're all going to be challenged in some way, and it's how you deal with it. So when you're learning to practice, be grateful, be in better spirits, better mood,
Hmm.
when you're faced with these things, it's not as challenging as we make it to be. Sometimes we just create it in our own mind. So it's like, okay, here's a challenge that I'm faced with, and then you're able to come up with solutions because you're in a better state of mind versus like getting all frazzled and not knowing what to do. By practicing gratitude, you're feeling better and you're able to think more clear.
Yeah. Just want to clear my throat real quick. And that's really where the practice of gratitude becomes the most important. Is not after these main adversities in our lives. It's during those
Yeah.
adversities and in those times, because our goal is to, as we're going through our challenges, we have to keep our vibration, our mental state as best as we can to see ourselves through that. And in this practice, it can be very hard to do gratitude when you're in a not so great mood. But that's the most important time to do that. And
Mhm.
if in that moment you're not in the mood to do a gratitude, get yourself to calm down, and so you can start writing things down, and just might be writing what you're grateful for,
Yeah.
like 10 things. Reminds me of a story of a friend of ours where they were at a speaking engagement, and he was going to be speaking on stage,
Oh, yeah.
and the person before him was just going over their time, and it was taken away from his time, and he started to find himself getting really frustrated. Like, and his mind started to go up, oh, she's taking my time, I'm not going to get enough opportunity to speak what I need to say, what I need to say to the audience.
Mhm.
And he started to find himself getting frustrated, and his wife, they get into this practice. Even the best people get caught up, don't get me wrong, but she was there to tell him, grab a pen and paper, put it in his lap, and says, write 10 things that you're grateful for.
Mhm.
And what he told us is, in that moment, it was like, I don't really want to do this right now, but he started to do it. And probably about into the fifth thing that he was
Hmm.
grateful for, his mood started to lighten. He started to feel a lot better.
He shifted his mood.
And
Yeah.
then he went up on stage, even with the limited amount of time that he had, and he gave one of the best speeches that he had, and people loved it.
Hmm.
Now think about that. What would have happened had he gone on that stage with the energy of, she took all my time, I'm frustrated, I'm angry? How would that have shown up in his energy,
Yeah.
speaking to people, rather than how he went up in a grateful heart? And so you show up differently in a state of gratitude. If you're going through something that everybody else might be flustered, when you come in a state of gratitude and you're feeling good, other people are going to see that. And it's like you're going to be rewarded in some way, shape, or form because of that.
Yeah.
But it definitely helps while you're going through adversity. So if you haven't done it, gratitude practice while you're going through challenges is very beneficial.
Yeah. And also, practicing gratitude, it helps you to attract things in your life because you're in a higher vibration, you're in those good feeling moods, and it's, it's like like we talked earlier about your vibration. What vibration you're in, that's the things that you're going to attract. So you're going to be attracting better things, better situations, better relationships. And it's just interesting how, one little thing of gratitude can help you to work with manifesting.
Hmm.
And people sometimes don't put two and two together, but if you want to manifest, better things in your life, because we're always manifesting. That could be
Hmm.
things you want, things you don't want, and it's based on how you're feeling, which is why gratitude is so important, and what you're focusing on. What are you focusing on daily? What are you thinking
Hmm.
about? Are you focusing on the good or the bad? And what you feel is what amplifies that, gives it energy.
Absolutely.
So that's why when manifesting, gratitude is a great practice to do, while you're working towards something, or you have a
Hmm.
goal, or, something that you want to
Yeah.
manifest into your life.
As we tell people, it's actually it's a prerequisite to
Hmm.
manifesting. It's
Yeah.
like people will manifest, but when you manifest in a grateful heart, and that's where it comes in a grateful heart, not in a grateful mind, but
Yeah.
in a grateful heart. What you feel in your heart is what you amplify. And
Hmm.
so going through that practice, you will start to see things change for you. And if you haven't done this, practice it because you have to have your own experience. But we're trying to help give you the understanding of what it can do for you. For those of you who practice this often, you've had your experiences and love to know what your experiences have been. If you can put those down into the comment of what gratitude has done for you. And if you're new, if you have questions, you can put those down. If you don't know how to practice this, want to know how can I do it better, put those in the comment. We'd love to hear from you as well because we teach these concepts of how do we manifest things into our life. But it's not just things like the tangible stuff. Is
No.
how can we manifest the life that we truly want to live? Maybe there's something that you really want to do that you're scared of in your life. Like I want to be a humanitarian. I want to be able to give. I want to travel the world. Like things that you really truly would love to do. We help you to create that in your life. And that's what we do in our work. And you guys can find out what we do at the Manifestation Mindset Institute.com, where you see all of our programs and things that we do. And we have a lot of things coming your way, so we want you to stay tuned for that. But start with gratitude.
Yeah, maybe you can create a new tradition in the holidays, is go around the table asking everyone what they're grateful for, and it really helps to just make that good energy, that good emotions. It helps to bring that out in people, and sometimes they have to think like, what am I grateful for? And it's sometimes the little things like running water, electricity.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we're left without it, and that's like the challenge that happens to us, it helps us to appreciate it even more.
Yeah, it's just like, when the water gets turned off and the toilet's not running. How many of you were grateful for toilet paper when it came back on the shelves? When it's gone, you don't realize how, like, just the little things that we are so accustomed to having all the time, and when that gets taken away, we realize how important that is in our
Yeah.
life. In this year 2020 with the COVID, when the toilet paper went, it's like, wow, people are really grateful to have toilet paper. But that's what we're talking about is the feeling like, wow, I didn't realize how important these things are in my life. It's not even being grateful for those things, but being grateful for, like, today at our house, the garbage man came. Like being grateful to
Hmm.
have those people as a service to come and pick up our garbage. Because what would happen if they all went on strike or they didn't exist? What would you do with your trash?
I would dig a hole in the backyard and bury it. No.
There you go. Then you have a big old hole with all this trash. But it's those
Burn
little
it.
things like when you go to the store next time, be grateful for the cashier, the person that rings you up your groceries, your items. Be grateful for them because they're providing you a service. Had they not been there, you would have to do all these things on your own. And we can be grateful for so many things. And just in that last part of it is when you're in that state, you are applying the law of increase. You start to see things increase or get better in your life because of it.
All right.
All right. Well, we hope this video has been helpful for you. Love to hear your thoughts and your comments down into the feed. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel.
And we go live every Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific and post new videos on Thursdays. So, like Aaron said, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon, and you will receive notifications of when we post a new video.
Absolutely. And we will see you guys next time.